Hey everyone, welcome back. Amazon say it has 10,000 Rivian electric vans in its delivery fleet. This is huge news for Amazon. So Amazon.com has 10,000 Rivian delivery vehicles making route across the US and Europe. The company said during a business presentation on Tuesday, Amazon has partnered with EV maker Rivian to have at least 100,000 electric vans on the road by 2030. Amazon said in July it had more than 5,000 vehicles. So from 5,000 in July to 10,000 now in October, before the end of the year. That's quite impressive, especially for Rivian as a company. And this is one of the very things that Rivians are doing currently. They're doing really well in this space, and they're not always getting the maximum credit. They're not always getting the full credit. But really, what a brilliant job to Rivian. Amazon latest updates come after Rivian, which also makes its R1T pickup trucks and the R1S sport utility vehicle. In August, they raised their production forecast for 2023 full year to 52,000 vehicles. That's quite incredible. That's the same amount of vehicles Polestar delivered last year in 2022. So Rivian is actually catching up. It surpassed Lucid. Rivian is now catching up to Polestar. By the way, Polestar is looking to deliver 60 to 70,000 vehicles by the end of this year. Rivian is not that far off, to be honest. Rivian is not that far off at all. They're quickly advancing in a very good way. Now, Amazon, which holds a stake in Rivian, has completed 260 million deliveries with Rivian vans. Hold on a moment. 260 million deliveries with Rivian vans? The Seattle-based company is also working with Volvo to add heavy-duty electric trucks to its middle-mile delivery fleet. Volvo in 2022 said it would provide 20 EV trucks to Amazon. Hold on a moment. That's quite incredible. I'm a huge fan of Volvo as well. I'm a huge fan of Polestar. And now I'm finding out that Volvo is actually partnering with Amazon to add heavy-duty electric trucks to its middle-mile delivery fleet. That's incredible. Obviously, Volvo trucks are known for being some of the best in the world. So for any company, it would be a dream to work with Volvo. I can understand that. That makes complete sense. Now, for Amazon, taking delivery of 10,000 EDVs also means that Amazon has added to its fleet of 10%. That's 10% of the 100,000 Rivian vans it is pledged to buy in 2019. And Amazon is planning to put these vehicles on the road by 2030. Now, to keep this in mind, Rivian did miss the initial target to have the first 10,000 electric vans delivered to Amazon by 2022. But it is quite understandable that Rivian could not make that happen last year in 2022. Rivian delivered around 20,000 vehicles last year, in fact. So from going from 20,000 to 52,000, that's quite remarkable. Amazon said it would continue to drive the fastest rollout of electric delivery fleet in the United States, offering some interesting statistic regarding the Rivian EDVs at its Deliver in the Future event on October the 17th. So what's next for Rivian? There's some other interesting news in the media for Rivian. Rivian's latest software update means towing tough terrain easier. This is incredible. Rivian has sent out an incredible amount of updates to its vehicles. And a lot of YouTubers who own a Rivian have been making a huge deal about this. I love Rivian for one of this specific reason. They have their own software. I really like Rivian for that specific reason. And it might seem simplistic, it might seem a little bit underrated, but for me, as a car company, having your own software, as a technology company, having your own software is essential. So Rivian is pushing a new software update that enhances the driver controls for easier access to drive modes, give access to the truck bed camera while towing, and to provide more real-time data. So Rivian is redesigning a bunch of Sky feet. So keep in mind, Rivian is redesigning a few key features for its electric trucks and SUVs to improve the user experience. And to make towing easier, the company is updating its Drive Mode app, introducing real-time metric screen that includes information such as motor temperatures, enhancing the towing experience, to include a bed camera for the R1T. This software update, version 2023 38.0, is available now for both the R1T pickup truck and the R1S SUV. In a promotional video, Rivian SVP of Software Development, Wasim Besser acknowledged customer feedback that the drive controls were difficult to reach. Now the controls like ride height, regen mode, and more are far on the left and easier to reach. For on-road and off-road and trailer modes, you can perform a swipe and gesture on the screen of the Rivian to select drive modes, including all-purpose, conserve, sport, and snow. That's nice. They've added snow. Why not just add ice? So this is brilliant for Rivian. And to be honest, I like the direction they're going in. I've always liked the direction they're going in. They're a technology company, they're an EV company, but they're doing so much more than just building vans. They're building electric delivery vans. They're building SUVs. They're building pickup trucks. That's quite essential, especially for the American market. But even more important, they're working on the R2 platform. And that is going to be a game changer, especially for Rivian. That's one of the main things that I'm looking forward to. So while we've got an opportunity, let's check out this video by Rivian. Let's just see for ourselves what these updates include. So this is what it looks like actually. I really like this. And I first remember when the Rivian vehicles were first starting to be delivered, one of the major complaints was that the software system seemed a little bit slow, a little bit sluggish. And I think over time they've been improving that little by little, which is obviously expected. It's warranted. It looks different. It looks unique. It looks wonderful. When can we get these vehicles in the UK? When do we start getting these vehicles in Europe? That's what I want to know. When do we get these vehicles in the UK and in Europe? These vehicles will be very popular and they will be a welcome addition in the European market, in the African market, in the Asian market as well. Rivian has this huge network, this huge world to expand into. And I'm looking forward to them expanding into these markets. As they continue to innovate, as they continue to develop, I do wish other car companies would do something similar to what Rivian is doing. Just look at that. Technology at its finest. Technology at its finest, and it's wonderful. Live feed cameras for your pickup truck that can tow another delivery truck. Honestly, that's a perfect truck for me because I'd like to tow some strange things like racing cars. That'd be incredible. Now listen, before we go, I have to take a look at its stocks. I really do have to take a look at the stock price. It's Thursday night, the market is closed, but more importantly, in the last year, the stock price is down 45%. It's a great time to buy for me. By the way, this is not financial advice. I'm going to turn on back my TV because it was just a really good contrast on my face and the background. I'm not going to lie. Besides that point, I have bought Rivian shares before and I was quite happy with the results. I did sell quite recently for my own personal reasons, but I'm planning to buy the dip once more. I'm planning to buy the dip. And when I sold, let's just say the price was higher than it is right now. So I'm glad that I did sell so I can just use that money to rebuy more shares. I get more for my money. I don't know about you, but that's the way the game works. But I like the shares where it is. The shares were starting to take off. Just around July, August, the shares were starting to take off. For a while, the shares were hovering around $25, $26, sometimes even $24, which was incredible to see. But to see the shares back around $17 is incredible for me because in British pounds, this is like £15 per share. That's a bargain. I'm not going to lie, that's a bargain for a company that's worth $17.8 billion. I want to put more money into Rivian. But of course, first you need to have that money. People always ask me, why do I only buy one share sometimes? Sometimes I'm interested in a particular different company and people often ask me, why do you only buy one share at a time? Because I personally say, sometimes I only buy one share. I like to commence research and sometimes just by buying one share or buying half a share or a portion of share, this can help me to gather information on the company. It's not enough that I'm worried about losing the money, but it's enough to have me emotionally invested so I pay attention and I study the company. And quite often, I'll see the share price doing extremely well, thinking to myself, you should have bought more, knowing I'm going to wait until the share price drop below the price that I bought, 10, 20%, and then I buy more. So I tend to start with about one share sometimes. I've bought Tesla 1 or 2 times, and each time I've bought Tesla shares, it's been one share. And each time I've made a profit. And that's good information for myself because the share price is now at a point that I'd like to buy again, but only one share. Once again, I'd love to buy 100 shares, but to be honest, I don't have the money to buy 100 shares. Just being honest. And I also have other things I'm interested in investing in and researching. So I can't just pile all of my money in one share I have to dilute it. And as I'm doing that, buying one share of every company, I'm gaining knowledge. You don't have to understand it, but I like to explain it just in case people are confused why I would buy only one share. I can see why it'd be baffling and confusing, but for me, it makes perfect sense. If I owned a car dealership and I was interested in selling a particular car, I wouldn't just buy 100 of those cars. I wouldn't just buy 1,000. I'd buy one car, use it, and see if I like it and see if it's reliable. Then if I'm happy with that result, I would buy more inventory and sell it for an increased profit. It's the same thing with the stock market. Why would I invest all of my money into a potential risk and lose all of my money? Instead, you can invest at a lower percentage just by buying one share just to be emotionally invested. And then if you discover that it's actually a good position to be in, like Apple, then you can buy more. Warren Buffett, the amount of shares Warren Buffett has right now for Coca-Cola, Apple, whatever shares, whatever app, whichever company Warren Buffett owns, he didn't start that way. He first started to buy small positions, and over time, he kept on buying more and more. But he didn't start that way initially. So buying one share is just for a test drive. But in order for me to invest in your company, I have to test drive it. I'm just saying, that's just me. You don't have to. Not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.